Welcome to Tally Talks, a podcast to ramble about Tally Hall. I'm your host, Emma, and today's episode is sponsored by my mom. I'm joined by my friend That GFN, and today we'll be talking about Tally Hall and Disney Channel, or at least more accurately, Disney TVA.
Hello, everyone. I'm HK. I'm also probably better known as Dad GFN. It's awesome to be here and really excited to help out in this podcast in any way I can, and just, excited to learn a bit more about Tally Hall.
Thank you. So That GFN runs a YouTube channel documenting sort of different, mainly Gravity Falls stuff, but also just all sorts of other random Disney things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like you've had some exciting stuff there recently. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I guess after the interview with Alex Hirsch, I've had a lot of interesting things come up. So there's a lot of new collab projects I'm working on and new interviews. So it should be really exciting this summer what we have coming up on the channel.
Yeah. Casually interviewing the creator of Gravity Falls, as you do.
That was still pretty insane how that happened. I have a behind the scenes video coming up soon on that, so it's going to be more in-depth detail on that, so that should be fun.
Let's go. But I thought it would be great to have you join me for sort of looking at Tally Hall's history of Disney Channel stuff for some reason. But yeah, so if you kind of to your knowledge, what is sort of your scope of Tally Hall? What do you know? What history do you have with it?
Well, I'd say I've definitely heard the name Tally Hall before in the past somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but I think first time I properly found out something related to them, well, more specifically probably Rob Cantor, was when, we had the whole Shia LaBeouf meme on the server a while back. So that was, I think, the first proper introduction I had. Then when I heard the Ghost and Molly McGee, when they were talking about how Rob Cantor was composing the songs for that, and then I was like, hang on a second, that's the guy who made the Shia LaBeouf song. And then it just started to connect all the dots. So I guess to that extent, that's all I know pretty much about Tally Hall, Rob Cantor, and all those guys.
Yeah, so that's cool though. It's just the rabbit hole keeps expanding. You're like, wait, that guy did that thing, and he did that thing too?
Yep, pretty much.
Just as a side note, HK has a server called That GFN server.
Well, technically you own it now, so.
Yeah, I own it. But it's still primarily That GFN related, for sure. All of the cartoons, all of the explosions there.
All the explosions.
But yeah, it's a very normal server.
Totally normal. No brain damage at all will happen if you join it.
Yeah, nothing bad could possibly happen. But that's where I staked out a Tally Hall channel, so that way I could dump all of my thoughts somewhere. But it's a great server. I'm glad to have assumed ownership of it.
Help us all get out of Emma's phone.
Never. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen, I think. Okay. So one of the first things that I want to look at is a history of this show called Happy Monster Band, which was on Disney Junior. Wait, no, what was it called?
Playhouse Disney? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Did you ever watch Playhouse Disney growing up?
Not really. I think more I've seen their shows that were on Canadian TV channels, because back then we didn't have Disney Channel here. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how many Disney Channel stuff I know about because of not having Disney Channel.
So this was an animated show for Disney Junior. Just like a, really little kids show. But Tally Hall did the music they did that music for this. It's an animated series, and it's about preschool monsters who are performing in a band. The really interesting thing is all of the kids are voiced by kids except when they sing, and when they sing, they're voiced by Tally Hall.
Oh my god, that should be interesting to see.
So they initially formed in 2002, and they're like, oh yeah, we're in college together, but let's make some music. And then they're kind of like, this actually might go somewhere. So they all put college on hold, and they went out and they started making music. And as part of that, in 2007 or so, they got hired to do all of the music for this show for some reason.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show a little clip here.
Okay.
There were 4-minute type episodes for Disney Junior, and this is part of one called Even Monsters Cry Sometimes. Anyways,
Oh
what
man,
are
that
your
was hilarious.
thoughts?
Oh, interesting song. Definitely has that emotional part to it, and also, I guess you heard that thing you said about the monsters, their voice changing. Yeah, that was pretty. I did not see that coming. I thought it was gonna be like not as dramatic of a change as it ended up being. It just went from like literally a whole guy's voice to just hi.
Yeah,
Love
it's pretty goofy. Um, but yeah, so that was just the show was this. There'd be like a little skit at the beginning, all voiced by these kids. Then there would be a song performed by Tally Hall, and 3 of the band members would provide vocalists. There's like a lady who was helping with Happy Monster Band. Oh, Hannah Lay. So she wasn't part of Tally Hall, but she was part of Happy Monster Band. So she was kind of there. But then Tally Hall's band members all like composed the music and stuff, and they had some of the vocalists. But it's so funny that it goes from children to grown.
Oh, indeed. That's pretty funny. But yeah, it's a pretty cute show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think I can see this being one of those shows I probably would have watched on Disney Junior back in the day because I watched shows like this back then as well. So I guess if they aired it here, I probably would have been a bigger fan of Tally Hall than I am now.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's like a decent chunk of fans of Tally Hall now, which go and look and they're like, wait, they were in Happy Monster Band, and it's like an existential crisis. For me, I'm not entirely sure if I ever saw this show. Like, I didn't see it consistently enough. I didn't watch Disney Junior consistently enough to know if I would have seen this, but it has like this echo where it feels like something I would have seen.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm pretty sure I never saw this show, but it definitely has one of those things where it's like, are you really sure that I watched this or not? But it's like it's one of those like Mandela effect things, probably.
Right. There's just a variety of different songs, and they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, just from that one song, that definitely sounds good.
Yeah.
Although I gotta admit, for a few moments, I kept thinking about that one song from SpongeBob where he sang about ripping his pants for some reason. I don't know, just like the setup of the band is just like I just kept thinking about that for some reason. Just waiting for them to rip their pants.
Oh no. They're monsters. They don't need pants. The other interesting thing that's such a missed opportunity is, all of the Tally Hall members, like the whole thing is they all have their colors of their ties, but it actually doesn't line up to the singers.
Right, when you said that red monster was voiced by Rob Cantor, I was like, why didn't they have him be voicing the yellow one?
I'm gonna show this one. I remember this one being fun. I also like how there's a thumbnail for this one video that's just the British flag and then a Happy Monster Band in front of it.
that should be the new British flag, honestly.
But Happy Monster Band got a whole 2 seasons of these like 4-minute episodes, and the second season was the world tour, and so that's why they're British now, I guess. What is interesting though is the show also did air in the UK, and in the UK they had children singing the songs. They replaced Tally Hall with actual kids singing the songs.
Because they didn't have the rights, perhaps. So it's just a bunch of British kids singing.
Yeah. They turned Tally Hall British.
Oh god! Oh no!
But I'm sure it's a lot less jarring in that version if they all sound like kids in the first place.
True.
All right, I want to show this episode. This one is a fun song from what I remember. It's called Yin and Yang. I've seen this unironically put into like different Tally Hall playlists too.
Oh wow. Must be really good then. Oh, that's a pretty fun song. Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. I don't know, something about that song does sound really familiar, though. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if I've heard it before, but yeah, it definitely has some familiarity there. Again, it's probably one of those Mandela effect things, but definitely it sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, just like 2009 children's show type
Oh
things.
yeah,
Like, did I
100%.
see this? I wouldn't really remember too much. But yeah, I'm really like curious for the plot line of Happy Monster Band though, because the kids are canonically preschoolers.
And now here they are going
But
on a world tour in Hong Kong. Yeah, you're definitely
we
you're right what you're saying about this. The show definitely has really two good songs for what it is.
and so yeah, there's a variety of different episodes and things and different songs, but yeah, but it is very entertaining that Tally Hall of all things.
Oh yeah, I see the world tour thing. The difference there. Like the
Yeah.
first season definitely has just like regular like different songs about I guess like friends and stuff, and then season two is just like, oh here we're in Italy now we're in what's there like India. Then it ends in London. Wow.
I kind of want to watch that one now, actually. Let
Yeah.
me find it again. Happy Monster Band, London Town.
I thought the queen already looked dead inside here.
Cheerio.
She's like, this is
These
the youngest
darn
audience she's had.
Americans.
Darn Americans who sound like kids at one point and then sound like.
They think
What?
they can be the Beatles.
Bro thinks he's John Lennon. Oh, but yeah, definitely. That's also another good song. And I like the Beatles vibe too, like apart from alongside the reference and stuff. So definitely,
Oh
I can see
yeah,
where
for
Charlie Hall gets
sure.
all. And so apparently, this
For
was the last
sure.
episode as well.
Yeah, that was the conclusion.
It ends with the
They
Queen.
they went to London. They got abducted. No, it is really interesting, just sort of the lore implications of this world. I'm overthinking, like, a show made for 4-year-olds. But
I mean, that's entirely the basis of my channel. So
yeah, true. I mean, yeah, overanalyzing children's media. Yeah. Speaking of Beatles vibes, I'm gonna show you the music video for one of the Tally Hall songs.
Mhm.
So that way, you can kind of see if it's up to par with Happy Monster Band or not. But
Okay.
it definitely does have Beatles vibes to it. Speaking of
yeah, just from the video I can see like the thumbnail
Let's
definitely looks a bit
see
Beatlesy.
if I can. Does it live up to Happy Monster Band?
Definitely a more insane vibe to it than I guess, but it definitely has that really 2000s feel to it though. Like that, it's like that's a lost art of type of video making, I'd say.
Yeah, lining up all of those TVs to get that to work.
Oh yeah, that's
Also,
definitely.
I've seen this however many times, and I just made the association. There's this like video playing, and it says Bobby,
Oh yeah, I was about to
and
mention that
then
Bobby
yeah,
and
and then because Rob, and then it plays out again, but you
and
can see
then
the yellow tie, so
so
it's Rob,
it's Rob watching that, and then
right? Like a younger Rob,
oh right,
maybe,
says like well him
and then
watching
older
as he's getting
Rob.
older. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I never made that association before. I just thought it was just some random kid video. I don't know. I can only imagine how painful it was to edit this
Oh,
though.
definitely, especially with 2009 technology. It probably burned a couple of PCs down. My computer almost crashed every time I was rendering the Alex Hirsch interview.
No exploding computers here.
Yep, no
I
computers
do have
were
a
harmed
story
in the making
about
of this.
so when I got my laptop in 2020, it was the night before a computer science final and I was taking a break and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to like render this Tally Hall side project album every single song at once
Oh god.
and make a cursed image to it." And I was like, this is a great idea. This is a great use of my time.
Foreshadow.
And I went to render it, and my computer made a popping noise, and the screen went black. I had to take it to a computer repair center. It turns out I had a faulty motherboard, and me rendering this Tally Hall thing just killed it.
Oh god. Tally Hall basically murdered your laptop.
Yeah.
Or it finished it off, probably.
Right. And it was brand new. That was the thing.
Oh, wow.
It was only like 4 or 5 months old by that point. But they were able to, yeah, they got my stuff repaired, recovered my files.
Oh, that's good.
That's what I get for trying to render every Hawaii Part 2 song at once. I'm gonna look at some more Happy Monster Band lore over here. So yeah, so Tally Hall wrote and performed all the music, although two of the members weren't singing in the songs. But it was still the drummer and the keyboardist. I guess an early title for Happy Monster Band was Band Together, according to hiddeninthesand.com. This is like a fan-made Tally Hall or fan-run Tally Hall Wikipedia type thing.
Oh. I see it mentions there also the characters have their own color, not unlike Tally Hall. So the colors still match.
Even though it doesn't match up.
That's definitely a wasted moment there. They could have made it work so much better.
They were like friends with someone who was involved with Disney animation, which is part of how they got this gig. But then that person also animated for one of the Tally Hall music videos for Hidden in the Sand. So I want to show that to you
that's where
next.
the wiki name comes from.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all coming together.
Also, I just realized 2009, so this would be around the same time Alex Hirsch was starting to pitch Gravity Falls to Disney, because
whoa.
He joined Disney in 2009 when they saw his student film. So this was just around the time that the earliest bits of Gravity Falls were starting up. So that's interesting.
So there's like a slim, tiny chance that like Tally Hall slim chance that Tally Hall and Alex Hirsch just like walked past each other in the Disney animation building, made eye contact.
That would be pretty funny if that happened.
It's very unlikely, but it's not impossible.
Yep.
But the person who animated this is who connected them to Happy Monster Band. That's why it's relevant, and I'll play it now. So that was Titanic. I mean, Hidden in the Sand.
I love how it has nothing to do at all with sand. It's literally just the Titanic burning into the ocean, screaming in pain. Eat your heart out, James Cameron.
The person who's a Disney animator also did the Tinkerbell 3D animated movies. Like he was the producer director for that or something. I remember that. But yeah, so you got another connection of you have a Disney animator animating for Tally Hall.
Wow, that is interesting, yeah.
All right. Yep. So Hidden in the Sand has over 200 million plays on Spotify. God.
That is insane.
So Tally Hall has definitely grown a lot more in the past 4 years. I've observed it, but I'm pretty sure that entire time Hidden in the Sand has displayed as their most popular song.
So it's kind of like how Among Us originally started with literally no popularity and then just exploded one day in 2020.
Yeah. The pandemic relation there. I was not expecting the Among Us reference, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, found a way to connect Among Us.
Yep. I'm just holding up my Among Us plushie, Loppy. He says hi. He's
hello.
Yep. So next I'm gonna show Rob.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's the one I know, of course.
Oh yeah. A lot of people know Rob, whether they're aware of it or not.
Is he like the most mainstream member of the group, or it's like definitely the most out there?
For sure. So the band went on indefinite hiatus around 2011. Mm-hmm. So they've never officially broken up, but they've also all gone off and done a lot of their own things. Rob is probably the most well known out of all of them since then. He composes music for Disney Channel. He's made things for Netflix series. He's made a bunch of ads. And then he did a bunch of viral videos.
So it's kind of like Tally Hall was the Jackson 5, and then he's the Michael Jackson of the group, you could say.
True. Yeah, definitely.
The most successful.
Where I feel like if people don't know something from Tally Hall, they probably know something from Rob.
Right. Definitely.
So we have Shia LaBeouf live.
What even is the story behind that? It's like I know about the song, but how did he just randomly come up with a song about Shia LaBeouf eating bodies?
Let's see if I can find lore on the Tally Hall.
That was the
Shia
first
LaBeouf
result.
live.
It's like the live performance was hilarious. Still, I'm pretty sure the song is older than the live performance, though, right? Because like he did it,
Yes, so the song, yeah, you're right, you're right. He first made it on SoundCloud and it went viral on Tumblr.
Oh yeah, I see. It says like the original is 1 minute 51, the live one, because he added those new lyrics. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so like the original lyrics, and then they did the whole live performance version.
And Shia LaBeouf was just there, like that was
Oh yeah, so
probably
here's the
that was like the plot twist ever.
they're just clapping at the very end. The fact that they just had Shia LaBeouf in the video, like it's beautiful. He just watches this entire musical performance. Yeah, I like how the description of the video is
Tell this.
Shia LaBeouf is a song by Rob Cantor. It tells the true story of an actual cannibal.
Oh god.
I forgot about it, but there is lore behind how the song came about. So Andrew Lorick is like a guy who helped a bunch with Tally Hall type stuff. I think he was one of the managers, or at least there was some association with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this guy and Rob were helping a friend move, and then this Andrew guy kept whispering Shia LaBeouf very dramatically. So Rob wrote an entire song about it.
That's like, why would he though? Like, be just whispering Shia LaBeouf?
Because why not? Why not?
True.
And then we have the live performance version. It's such an iconic video.
Oh,
Have
100%.
you seen?
Oh yeah, I've seen the full video. It's pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's pretty great. Another viral video that Rob made was called 29 Celebrity Impressions, One Original Song. Where him and this is the keyboard player from Tally Hall, who's Andrew Horowitz. They did a song together and they put together basically a hoax.
Ooh.
Where Rob hired a bunch of impressionists and then he lip synced to it, but made it seem like he sang the entire song doing all of these really, really good impressions. And then he released it behind the scenes of what he did, but then it was just something where it went viral and everyone's like, this is faked. And he was like, yeah, it was.
That's funny. Oh, that's literally the second video is like the making of.
Yeah, these are his most popular videos, I think. He also came out with his own side album 10 years ago called Not a Trampoline. So he has a few different songs there, but what's funny is there's a song called Ghost, and then he worked on the Ghost and Molly McGee.
They should have gotten the rights to play that on the show.
It would have been perfect. But I remember that where it was 2021, I think, was when the Ghost and Molly McGee was announced. And then they announced Rob was there, and I was like, I'm going insane.
I still remember this. Like, I heard the, like at first, like, people were like, oh, it's a musical show? Oh, that's not going to be fun. Like, because, like, I'm not the biggest fan of musical shows. But then when everybody was like, Rob Cantor's the one who's composing the song, everyone was like, oh my god, this show is going to be worth watching. And then, yeah, it was. It's like, both the songs are pretty funny and good to listen to, and as well the episodes are also a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, he did a great job with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good I added it to my logo.
Oh yeah. I still have to finish season 2.
A lot of people are mixed on season 2, but personally I liked it a lot. It was pretty fun. Although cool. You definitely can tell like they definitely wanted to do more with the show than they got cut, so that sucks. But at least it had a pretty decent ending, so still better than Stars. Anything's better than Cleaved.
Yeah, Ghost and Molly McGee, pretty fun. Gone before its time.
Oh,
so sad.
It's like that Infinity Train. Like name any good show, and it's probably been cut.
Infinity Train to Among Us pipeline. We made an Among Us reference already. We just got to point out
Infinity Train.
Infinity Train It's directing Among Us the series. This is important information.
Definitely a huge surprise there. Like I still can't believe it was like that's got to be a troll, and then it was like, oh wow, he actually is doing it. I think that's the only reason I'm actually excited about the Among Us show. It's just like because yeah,
Did you see the cast?
I saw a bit of it. Like not much though. Beyond that, like was there any like notable people? I guess like
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So like cartoon sort of nerding moment. The voice of Wirt from Over the
oh
Garden Wall is playing one of the characters. He's also Frodo in Lord of the Rings, but he's Wirt. He's Wirt.
yeah word.
Then Ashley Johnson, who voices Tulip and Lake in Infinity Train, is
Oh
also voicing one of the characters. So
yeah, Infinite.
Among Us is just basically Infinity Train Part 2.
I definitely can imagine them putting Infinity Train references in it.
Yeah, kind of tying that back to Tally Hall too, though. The spread of Tally Hall, especially during the pandemic, has meant that for pretty much any fandom, there's some Tally Hall music video or animation to it.
Oh, definitely. Even on our server, it's just like we have a Tally Hall channel now. Like I still, even nowadays, like whenever someone joins the server, like they go in there and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a Tally Hall channel. This is the best thing ever." And it's like, wow, you definitely made a good call there.
I put the Discord in my channel descriptions, and I'm like, I just live here. It's like not even a Tally Hall server, but we have our singular channel where I just send messages, and other times people will be like, "Whoa, that's cool. There's a Tally Hall channel," and then never say anything again.
Oh, true. That's
So,
yeah. Although it's always funny when that happens. It's just like, oh wow, that
yes.
definitely made me realize how big of a band this is. Like a group, like because like I said, like I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about Tally Hall before this, and now apparently I know a lot more.
Oh yeah, and the whole reason I got into Tally Hall
Yeah.
was because of Gravity
Ooh.
Falls. So
Oh.
Saucely's in the server had made an animation to a Tally Hall side project song called The Mind Electric.
Mm.
So I watched it and I got obsessed with it. And I was like, I need to know as much as I can about this song. Half of the song is in reverse. There's a bunch of cryptic voices saying things.
No wonder it was made. Now it makes sense why Sauce put that in with a Gravity Falls song, like thing.
Oh yeah. There's all like it's the whole like lost media search cryptic code type thing. And then of course it was for Bill Cipher too. So you got the reverse messages. But that just that was just I went on such a massive rabbit hole of this singular song, which then I found Tally Hall through that. And there's been a bunch of Gravity Falls Tally Hall type content since then too.
Wow. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it from just what you meant, what you said there, is like I think that if Neil Cicierega was not like as big of a part of Gravity Falls as he ended up being, like I think I have a feeling that Alex probably would have gone towards Tally Hall and for stuff in that sense,
True.
from the sounds of it.
Yeah, especially since both of them were a lot like early internet
Right.
type music things. I think it helped that Neil had like flash animations, but
Yeah, probably that. And also because Emmy Cicierega is also part of the Gravity Falls crew, so
oh
family
yeah, oh
connection
yeah.
there.
For real. Yeah. Note for podcast listeners who may not know this information, Neil Cicierega, also known as Lemon Demon, had worked on some music for Gravity Falls, and then his sister was an animator for it. Small world.
Yeah.
Small world.
Also, another little tidbit, mentioned this in my 20 facts about Gravity Falls video, is like in the coloring book that's now been sadly discontinued, like there's a scene, there's like a page where it's like Grunkle Stan's holding a pile of money like a baby, and it's like a super realistic drawing of him. And it turns out that their dad, like Neil and Emmy's dad, was the one who posed for that. Like they had him wrap around a blanket with a bunch of money in it, and then it was just him holding it like this, and they sketched that as the design for Grunkle Stan.
Oh
So
my
there's
gosh, that is beautiful.
so there's a photo of their dad just dressed up as Grunkle Stan doing that.
So Lemon Demon's dad is canonically in Gravity Falls.
Lemon Demon connection to Gravity Falls always.
Oh yeah,
There's a
I
lot
mean
more.
that one's a pretty straight line,
Yep, just straight there.
I Is right there. We have the Cut Bill Cipher song. Oh, oh man.
Oh, there's also the Stan like election song that we've ended up refinding that you
Yes.
posted on your channel.
Yes, Stan. He's the man.
And I just recently find out that apparently the entire music video that Neil made for that was just a rip of Richard Nixon's election campaign song.
Oh my gosh.
So it's literally just so basically Grunkle Stan is the Gravity Falls equivalent of Richard Nixon.
I like how on Rob Cantor's Spotify you have all these like Disney lullabies
I
that
was
he
gonna
did.
mention that it's like on his YouTube channel as well. It's like all like in his video playlist, there's like Disney Channel songs, and then
Yeah. And we have the Welcome to the Chibiverse.
oh, he did that too. Wow.
Yeah, he did the song for that. So for the theme song. So there's more of a Gravity Falls Tally Hall type connection of
Yep, sort of.
sorts.
Which pretty much connects him to almost pretty much every other Disney TV show at that rate.
Oh yeah, like everything.
That sounds like kind of fun. It's like Gravity Falls fans for years have been debating about how connected Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty are, but here we are, Rob Cantor connecting Gravity Falls to the entire world via the Chibiverse.
Real. The true answer all along was Rob Cantor.
He's the key to it all. Oh, but that's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
but his Spotify is just like his most played songs are pretty much the lullabies. And then there's the singular one from Not a Trampoline called I'm Gonna Win, which actually was a Tally Hall song that he adopted.
Oh wow. I have a feeling perhaps maybe
gotta...
the reason why that's his most popular song is maybe like parents putting on like songs on Spotify for like their kids, and that's the first result. It's not the actual version, it's just the Rob Cantor version.
Got Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. People are like, oh, like maybe there's like these parents who are like, oh, I love all these lullabies. Let's put Rob Cantor's music on a shuffle.
And then
they get jump scared by Shia LaBeouf live.
Their kids asking them like, why is Shia LaBeouf gonna chase me in the forest? It's honestly hilarious, just like how out of context it looks. It's just like, oh, like wholesome Disney cartoons and Shia LaBeouf is a cannibal.
Yeah, you've got Welcome to the Chibiverse, Disney Junior, 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 Disney Junior,
Disney Junior classics,
Disney Junior, Disney Junior,
and then
Shia LaBeouf live. Not a Trampoline.
Oh, that's like literally at the bottom, and just like the rest just Disney Junior.
Oh yeah, Disney listened to Not a Trampoline and Shia LaBeouf live, and they're like, we need this man. So yeah, we've got some fun different connections here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've apparently learned a lot more about Rob Cantor than I did before this. Now he's not just the Shia LaBeouf guy.
There's so many other the all of the Tally Hall lore just goes so deep, man. But yes, I'm glad to have introduced you to a bit more.
Definitely, it was a lot of fun. Probably gonna go find a Tally Hall iceberg video now.
Oh yes, do it. I know those exist. I don't know if I've watched them all, but they definitely do exist. Before we go, you wanna promote anything? I mean, we already talked about the Alex Hirsch interview. That's pretty cool. You gotta search that. That's GFN.
Interview with Alex Hirsch alongside me. Be sure to also watch my friend Hannah, because they made a really great part of the interview, and they asked Alex a lot of other questions that I didn't ask on my end. It's definitely a two-parter interview, so if you miss the first part, if you miss Hannah's part, you're missing out a huge part of the interview, so be sure to watch that. Get theirs up to 20k views and more beyond mine, so definitely do that. Other than that, I guess the only other thing I gotta promote is that there's going to be more on the Dad GFN channel eventually with, like, I have another video stuff. There's still more parts about the Alex Hirsch interview I'm going to be posting videos for. And then other than that, I got a couple of more Gravity Falls stuff planned. Book of Bill probably is going to give me some more content. And yeah, other than that, so also subscribe to my other channel, Talking to Myself Productions. I'm definitely going to be putting more focus on that soon. So
yes,
shameless plug there. Also, that one's monetized, so help me make money.
Help HK pay his bills.
Yep, it's not cheap living in Canada anymore. Together we'll raise enough money to escape Emma's phone.
Yay! Wait, no.
Brian definitely told me to plug that.
But yeah, so subscribe to That GFan on YouTube. I'll stick it in the podcast link too. I'll stick both of the Alex Hirsch interview links in there too, for
thank
sure.
You so much.
For sure.
Also,
you're welcome.
To any of my viewers, also be sure to keep listening to Emma's podcast. It definitely sounds a lot of fun, and really excited to see what else you get up with here.
So, thank you. Yeah, for anyone who wants to listen to me ramble about a dead band from 2008, let's go. Well, I think that will conclude it. Thank you again.
No problem.
Thank you for listening to Tally Talks. If you'd like to support the show, the best thing you can do is just share it, I guess. If you are interested in talking on the podcast, you can email me at podcast@awesomejedi.com, and then I can see if we can make something work. Oh, and I did want to share one other thing I discovered after recording this. I was looking up the animation studio that Disney hired for Happy Monster Band, and it's Titmouse, which had also been the animator for, like, the intro for Avatar: The Last Airbender, a couple other different shows, but most recently, they're working on Among Us, the series. So that means Tally Hall has a bit more of a connection to Among Us now. Thank you all. Goodbye, and have a good day. By Tally Hall.